Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm really glad you're here. I am going to work on painting this tree. So I have a picture of it and I shared this in the previous video, which just basically talks about the supplies you're going to need to do it. Also, I have the canvas. Well, it's not canvas, but it's paper. It's acrylic paper. And this is heavyweight paper. So it's like 246-pound paper. And so it's pretty thick. I have that ready. And I have the palette paper cut into little squares. They don't have to be any certain size, but yeah, they basically will hold the paint. And I loaded white. So I made two separate areas for the white. And it's, probably about the size of a quarter maybe on there. And then I stretched some out to the side for the clouds. And then I took the phthalo blue, opened it up, and you can kind of see it's got paint coming out of it, and touched it to the paper. I don't need much phthalo blue. This will take over all the white if I let it. I'm not going to do that. So I'm ready to go. And what I was going to say was, you do not have to get the green shade of phthalo blue. You can get another phthalo blue that's out there if that's all they have. Don't worry about it. The phthalo blue green shade is just going to be a more that color instead of being, the other phthalo blues might be darker, but it's not a big deal. It'll be fine. Your painting can be different than mine. It's okay. So I'm going to start by scooting this over a little bit, and I hope everybody can still see well. I have gloves on because I get paint on myself when I'm painting, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to dip the brush into the water. And this is a 1-inch brush from the dollar store. Dip it in the water, and then I'm going to load it with the white. I need to leave some plain white over there. Load it with the white. Get it pretty much loaded. This is pretty much loaded up. Scoop that out of the way. And I'm going to crisscross across here. Now I don't know if you can see or not, but it's definitely leaving paint on this paper. And I will go ahead and do the next row, and then side to side. We're going to go side to side to blend out the crisscross brush strokes that I just put on there. And yeah, there we go. And I need to come down to probably about 3/4 of the way on the paper. I'm going to do that again. I'm just crisscrossing across there, and then side to side. That's pretty good. I do not need to come all the way down. And if you do not have gloves, that's okay. If you paint it without gloves, that's fine. This acrylic paint will wash off. It's supposed to be non-toxic, so it should be fine. And I'm gonna now, with the dirty white brush, I'm gonna load it into just scrape into the blue. I do not need to load it up too much. I've got blue on that brush, and I'm gonna crisscross across the top till it blends in. So this is kind of getting chalky, and that just tells me I don't have enough moisture on this brush. So I'm going to go in the water, touch it to the tablecloth, which this is the canvas tablecloth I was talking about. So I'm going to get a little bit more blue and try again. Very good, there we go. And we just want to crisscross it into the white that's still there. We don't want to wait, and go take a break or have a cup of coffee. No, you want to paint this in there at this one sitting so it doesn't dry. We don't want it to dry so it doesn't blend with the blue. Okay, and I'm not loading any more paint. I just want to go with what I have in my brush. Crisscross across. Again, I need a little moisture, so I'm going to tap in the water and touch the tablecloth, and then crisscross across. And that water really helps. I don't want a pond on my painting, so I'm just going to get enough to get it to move. There we go. And we can come down below where the ground's going to be. That's not a problem. What I want to avoid is anywhere that shows the canvas through. If I could see canvas on here through my painting, through my sky, which I can kind of see it right there, I'm going to add a little bit of the white. So I'm going to come back into the white here and just paint right through that so it kind of covers that and doesn't leave it showing the paper underneath it. I keep calling it a canvas, but the substrate that I'm painting upon, it doesn't show that through there. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I just want to make sure it's all covered and I don't have any parts that are showing the paper through it. And I'm noticing I'm missing some parts right here. They're kind of, there's spots missing. So I'm going to do it again. I'm not going to come all the way down. I'm just going to do the top again. I'll crisscross across there to fill in those spots that are missing paint, and then side to side. And I'm not putting too much pressure on this brush. I don't want to scrape all the paint off. I'm seeing some paint missing there, so I'm going to do it again. And for me, that's just pure joy. I don't, you know, this is not a big deal. If I have to do it again and again and again, I'm fine with that. Because I love to paint, so. Okay, there we go. And I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna rinse off my brush, and I need to dry it with a paper towel. You should have a paper towel handy at the table from your supplies that we talked about earlier in that previous video. And I'm gonna rinse this off enough to get most of the paint off and wipe it onto the tablecloth. Yeah, there we go. And then I will wipe off most of it right here. And while it's still damp, I want to get some white on my brush, so I'm going to go into the white that was to the side of the color we used to mix the sky. And I'm just going to tap in there with this brush for the white. And I don't usually use a 1-inch brush for clouds, but clouds are clouds, and you're not going to have a problem with them. I just think going in a little circle should do it. I'm just taking this edge with paint on it, and do you see it just picked up the blue? I need to flip it over so that I'm painting now with this down, and I'm going to go in little circles till I get a nice cloud on there. And it doesn't have, you know, this cloud could change in a few seconds. It doesn't matter. It's just a cloud. It doesn't have to be the most perfect cloud, or you don't have to make an animal shape of it. You can just make it just a little bit of white in the sky for a cloud. And try to get rid of the brush strokes. There we go. I think that's probably pretty good for the cloud. I could put one in the middle. This looks like 1 and 2. I can do one right in the middle. It's not really mandatory that you do that, so it kind of made them across the front, and I think that's good. I'm going to stop. I've got a lot of white on here. I'm going to rinse this out, and I'm going to wipe it off. There we go. And it's ready to go for the next step. You don't have to take all the paint off, so if you're going to continue and watch the next video, you might want to wait till they all come out, because the next video will be probably in a few days. But what I'm going to do is save this paint. I can save this by spraying water on it. And this is a little spray bottle I got. I bought it from one of the vitamin stores, and it was really inexpensive. Now, I don't know if you can get them anywhere else, but basically this is full of distilled water, and I'm going to spray it on here. And the reason I use distilled water is so that it doesn't rot. And because I've had paint where I've painted with regular sink water out of the sink or out of the tap, and it can easily pick up something from the water and not, and actually smell bad. So yeah, you don't want to have that happen. So we have about a minute left. And all I'm doing before I move on to the next step, this will set until the next step, but all I'm doing is looking to see if everything's okay. And I'm noticing right in here that there's a bit of sky that's kind of darker. I'm going to go over it with white and blue, and it's going to be fine. Everything in the painting is going to be, it's forgiving. There's a lot of grace with acrylic, even more so grace with oil paints. But I'm doing acrylic paint right here. I'm going to add a little bit of white, and a little bit of phthalo blue together. And I'm going to go right over the base of this and go over this darker part right here. I want the lower part of my sky to be lighter than up here, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to get that to look, there we go. It's all blending in. And you just persevere, because it will blend if you continue, okay? All right, good enough. I'm going to rinse this off. Oh, I see it right there, and that bugs me. I'm going to take it off of there with a little bit of white. All right, we'll get it. There we go. It's just where it's not quite cooperating. There we are. I don't want to come up into the top. And there may be another kind of cloud in the background, so that's fine. I've got it to mix better, and it's not looking, right here is not looking like it's unfinished. Okay. Yep. And yes, I keep painting because I keep seeing it on the paper. I see the paper through it. Okay. That's pretty good right there. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna call it good. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse this off, and again, just wipe it off with a paper towel, and then we'll set it aside, and you'll see that we can just go right into the next color. And the reason we can go into the next color is because there's blue and white on here. The next color we're gonna do is green, and there is blue in green, so you don't have to worry about it. And it's gonna be darker than this anyway, which is another bonus. So I'm gonna put these together because I will save this in case I have to go back and use it. And I will see you in the next video. Please like this video and please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you get the notification of the next video coming out. If we weren't to do a video after this, you want to wash this brush. If you're not going to do a video and you're going to stop here and you're going to wait till the next video comes out, then I would clean this brush off with paper towel, and then I would also rinse it off and put it, I use Master's brush soap, so they sell them in little bars. You can wash it with that and then rinse it off in the sink and then let it dry. So, but we will use this next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for liking the video and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you next time.